Hey guys, this is Linksource74, and tonight I'm going to be doing a commentary on this video I found called Nintendo is the best and fuck you. Emphasis on the caps. This will be in the style of Random DC's Ear Rape Coffees and Boomsticks commentaries. So, without further ado, let's truck on and get this commentary started.
Alright, I'm going to tell you why Nintendo is better than Sony and Microsoft.
Oh boy, the Nintendo elitist is going to tell us why Nintendo is so much better than Sony and Microsoft, because we all know Nintendo has no problems. Like, they have plenty of hardcore games to play. Ugh. So, tell us, why is Nintendo so much better than Sony and Microsoft?
First off, they're the first company that released a home console, the 8-bit NES.
No. Maybe the names Atari and ColecoVision ring a bell because those came out way before the NES. The NES came out in 1985, and the Atari and ColecoVision came out in the early 80s, and I'm pretty sure the very first gaming console called the Odyssey came out in the late 70s. So, no, Nintendo was not the first home console. Maybe you should do a little thing called research. I can reference you to this site called Wikipedia. Use it.
They're also the first company that released a handheld, the Game Boy.
You're right about them being the first company to release a handheld console, but you're wrong that Nintendo released the Game Boy first. Nintendo released a little thing called the Game & Watch before the Game Boy. I'm not sure if you know this, but it looks a lot like a DS, and even the main character, Mr. Game & Watch, is in most of the Super Smash Bros. Games. So, again, you need to do your research.
They're also the first company that released a backwards compatible handheld, the Game Boy Color, which could also play the original Game Boy games. They were also...
That really doesn't have any effect on the quality of the games. What matters is that the companies make great games. Not just because they invented backwards compatibility. You really need to concentrate and make good valid points, not just because you can't just say Nintendo is a good company because they made the Rumble feature and they made this and made that. That doesn't tell us a single thing about the quality of the games.
the first company to release a console with 4 controller ports, the Nintendo 64. Along with the Nintendo 64, they were also the first company to release a Rumble feature for the controller, the Rumble Pack, which was included with Star Fox 64 in 1997. They're also the first...
Are you stupid? So what? So what they made the Rumble feature, and so what if they invented 4-player battles? Which they didn't. I'm pretty sure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the arcades had 4-player combat long before the Nintendo 64. So, in any case, you still haven't told us about the quality of the games compared to the other two companies. You haven't made enough valid points to say why Nintendo is better than Microsoft and Sony. Your argument is flawed. Took that from Darkness the Curse. Sorry about that.
Company to release a handheld with a touchscreen, the Nintendo DS. Along with the DS, they were the first company to have a handheld that had Wi-Fi capabilities.
Do I really need to repeat myself? And anyway, you act like Nintendo invented the touchscreen. They didn't. I'm pretty sure Palms, the Palm PCs, or whatever you want to call them, had touchscreens way before your little DS there. And don't get me wrong, I love Nintendo as much as the next guy, but this guy is completely stupid. He has something we like to call an elitist opinion or an uneducated opinion. Or a mixture of both. It's really hard to tell.
Play wirelessly. Also, they were the first company to have a console where you could use movement to play games, the Nintendo Wii.
The iToy? The PlayStation 2 had the iToy. Maybe you forgot about this little fact. And you probably also forgot about how Nintendo tried to do motion control with the NES, with the Power Glove. And you saw how far they got there. That got them. maybe you should do, like I said before, more research. Nintendo is not the messiah of gaming. In my opinion, all three of them are the same because they all have good things about them and bad things about them. But none of them is better than the other two. So, again, elitist.
Yes, of course. Yes, Sony has the 3-axis controller.
The 6-axis controller, get it right.
But how many games?
But how many games use the 6-axis or 3-axis controller that you mentioned? I'm pretty sure most of them do. I don't own a PS3 myself, but I'm pretty sure most of them use the 6-axis controller.
This is the motion capture on the Wii. Pretty much all of them.
That's because Nintendo likes to force the motion controls down our throat and throw it into every single game they have. In which, most of the time, you're just going to use the GameCube controller. Case in point, Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Mario Kart Wii, because the motion controls sucked. Well, actually not Brawl, but the motion controls sucked on Mario Kart Wii, and I just used the GameCube controller.
So, that's why Sony sucks. Microsoft is retarded.
You haven't really told us really why Sony and Microsoft suck and why Microsoft is retarded. You haven't talked about a single game besides Star Fox 64. You didn't even tell us if it was good or not. So, how are we supposed to trust your opinion if it's not even backed up?
And for all you people who think Halo is the best game series out there, you need to stop sucking Bungie's dick. And for people who like the PS3, why? It has very few good games on it.
First, people are allowed to like Halo. I don't know if you know this. It's called an opinion, and you're allowed to have one. And the PS3 has plenty of good games. It has Metal Gear Solid 4, Ratchet and Clank, both Resistances, and Little Big Planet, just to name a few. So don't say PS3 has nothing.
And Metal Gear Solid 4 is nothing but a graphic-intensive game, but and that's all it is. So you can suck my dick and go to hell and have a nice life.
Oh man, the last line is the best. It sums up his intelligence in one sentence. But anyway, please leave a comment and tell me how this commentary was to you, and I look forward to making more in the future. Thanks a lot. Bye.